Hello, everyone. Hello, heroes, rather. Uh, you are watching the True Annoying Gnome Twitch channel, and this is Terrible Taurus Tales. We are going to be joined shortly here by two of our players, whenever that ends up happening, and we will continue our journey into the Huabeck Crypt to discover what Enigma may lie there. I know that Andrew and I think Kristar is not available this week. So it looks like we're waiting on Miles, but he should be available this week. And Wes is here already.
Yep.
Um,
Miles is in the channel. He's just muted, so I'm sure he'll be
okay.
here in a minute.
We're trying a new text out in the turn watcher. That's the word for the thing we use. If you like this text, let us know in the chat. If you don't like this text, well, screw you. No, I'm kidding. Let us know in the chat as well, and maybe I'll change it back. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I'm here. I'm watching something to get into the right mindset.
Okay. If you want to see our players' thoughts in character as they're playing, the Dwarven Teat channel on our Discord, which is sort of like the roleplay tavern for the players, that is available. You can go and watch them do that. They had private channels where they were doing that, but it occurred to me that we can't get subscribers yet, so having private channels is somewhat silly. And if you would like a link to the Dwarven Teat, I will put that in the chat now-ish, whenever I can actually get it to... There we go. This will work. That should take you right to it. Feel free to join our Discord. If you are a friend of the show, if we know you, that's wonderful. Please let one of the moderators know, and we will get you all set up for the VIP type stuff. If you're just coming over to hang out and see what's going on, we've got channels for discussing how I'm running the game poorly, rules-wise. If you disagree with my house rules or think I made a bad ruling, there's a channel for that. It's called Your Fun Is Wrong. We have a Dwarven Teat, which is a sort of collective roleplay experience where anytime you interact with one of our players, they will be in character. We have a general chat. We've got a place for you to talk to me as a dungeon master. Maybe give me your thoughts. Maybe get some of my thoughts if you have questions about why I make some of the game master decisions that aren't rules related that I make, storyline and that sort of things. We are working on putting together a weekly Q&A. It has not been weekly yet, but you know, as the stream is feeling more comfortable to us and the audio levels and the video levels and all that stuff work out, you can expect more of that sort of side content, campaign diaries and cast interviews and that sort of thing. Actually, here's a good question. If you are watching live and you're seeing the chat, why don't you let me know which of the four characters you would want interviewed first? Yeah, that's a good question for chat. So we'll do that in the chat here and wait for us to be ready to go on our end.
Risky Wolf saying hi.
Hello, Risky Wolf. If you are not a first-time viewer and you have an opinion about which of these four characters should be interviewed this week during the Q&A, let us know. And since you're the only person in the chat right now, it looks like your decision will be final, so congratulations on being an early bird. Early bird gets the worm, or at least the initiative. Advantage on initiative, perhaps? Advantage. Can't just give you the initiative, but you can have advantage.
That's fair.
And if you disagree about that being fair, again, we have a whole chat where you can come yell at us. So,
Nice.
that chomping in the background is my service warg, otherwise known as Zach. But don't worry, he's redeemed, so he's of neutral good alignment. Well, no, Wes, I'd say he's more chaotic good, wouldn't you?
He's chaotic good, yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely chaotic good, aren't you, buddy? He does not give 3 shits. Possibly 2, but not 3. We're turning my volume down a little bit because I see that my microphone is peaking. If it's a problem for you, let me know in chat. OBS now has this cool thing where I can see the chat directly embedded in my software. That's the phrase I was looking for. Software. Sorry, I'm a gnome and we're not used to this kind of technology yet. We're slowly adapting to it. It's an insider D&D joke. It's okay. Oh, Andrew, I think. Or someone that has copied Andrew's username. Nice. So Andrew's watching. No pressure. No pressure to get the rules right. Alright. So, as soon as Layden's player Miles gets back, we will start the show. I suppose some sort of recap would be in order because I didn't put up a session recap. So,
Pressure's on.
cool. Alright. So, when we last left our heroes, well, rewinding. Last time we last left our heroes, they were wandering in the northern woods to find the Huabeck Crypt. And they were moving through a snow-covered valley when they were not ambushed. Ambushed is the wrong word. They had a engagement with some skeletons. They were willing to face them bravely rather than retreat. It was a pretty one-sided fight once it was a pretty one-sided fight once they got the hang of fighting skeletons. Malasai Layden's transformation of Malasai upset several of the hired help, or both of the hired help rather.
All too.
But they ended up becoming victorious in the end. They were able to recover a small number of precious treasures. A ring, a scrimshaw walrus tusk, and a black velvet face mask. Petrum then decided to lay the bones to rest properly, didn't you, Petrum?
I took
The skulls? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna bring. My plan was to put them back in the crypt.
Yes. And, Layden, well, rather, Malasai decided to chew on the femurs. That was a little weird, but, you know, that's what Malasai does. That did freak out the 2 travelers traveling with them. Yilra, the veteran soldier of some sort, and Tenrayli, the circus acrobat who is totally not a thief. Oh, shit.
Oh,
That is not good.
well, now we found out early, so that's good.
Okay, how do I fix? Last time it was a Discord issue, so give me 1 second. No, that is correct. Okay. Let's check over here. This must be an OBS issue.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, output.
Sorry, I'm listening to the audio. Just to see if I can hear me.
No problem. We're sorry, folks. We will get this fixed as soon as we can. It looks like everything is set up in the proper way.
I kind of hear myself a little bit. I don't know if
Oh, maybe you guys are just quiet.
we're at. It's like super quiet, yeah.
Alright, chat. How does this sound for the players?
Hello, 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 hello. Yep, there we go.
Alright. So I had the volume too low. Thank you, Darude.
Hello, 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 hello,
Hello.
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 That's legal where that's happening. Don't worry about it. Alright. So they found their way to where the crypt was and were able to find the somewhat hidden entrance. To their surprise, they found that the door had been used recently, and the foyer, grieving chamber, whatever you want to call it, had been scattered apart. With flowers and incense everywhere. They had found evidence of rats, but no actual rats, and they progressed deeper into the crypt, down one of the sarcophagi galleries, where we had just ended the session with 3 skeletons, 2 rising from sarcophagi on the left and right, and 1 crawling out of an ossuary and grabbing a nearby axe of what appears to be superb quality. So, unless anyone else has something that I forgot, then I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Too bad you don't have Zach there. He could gnaw on their bones for you.
Maybe later. So are we rolling initiative?
Yes, as soon as I find my turn watcher. Here we go. Ah, cool. Wait, we have a hunky bard?
That's a good question, Jadru.
Let me ask, have we taken a long rest? Like, are we all ready before we go into this thing? Correct?
Not.
We took one before we got in.
Yeah, not since the beginning of the crypt, but you took one before you came in.
Yeah. Those are the words.
I'm just basically asking if I've raged. I can't remember. I think I have 2.
I don't think you have rage since since you entered the crypt.
Alright.
Crypt skeletons, that's probably it. There we go. Yes. Here's what I want. So you see, 3 skeletons, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. The one on the right is wearing a once fine cloak, still really good fabric, but tattered and, worn with age, becoming thin, wielding a burial sword. The other, the first one on the left, also crawling out of a sarcophagus, is wearing fine grave clothes. Not quite a robe, not quite a cloak, more of a sort of burial shroud or shawl, with a silver locket. And the final one is also on the left. That's the one that crawled out of the ossuary, It doesn't have any clothing about it. It's hard to really make out anything of detail about that particular skeleton given its age, but it is wielding a fine-looking axe it grabbed from nearby. So with that in mind, we are going to roll initiative. Layden, what'd you get for your initiative? D20 plus 2.
Well, this is not the way to start the night. I rolled a 1.
Woo! Alright, so 3 total. Petrum.
I got a 14.
14 teen.
That's right. Ones get shit done.
Alright. Generally, we'll go first, and then Petrum, and then Skeleton, Yura, another Skeleton, and Layton will bring up the end. That's okay, Miles. It'll just give you time to think about what you want to do.
There you go. All right.
So Tenrily will yelp and draw her blades. She will throw one blade at the skeleton with the fine grave clothes and silver locket. Alright, that will hit. So, the dagger will fly out from her hand with a precise strike that should, that if it were a flesh and blood person, would tear open a important arterial pathway in the body. But instead it just kind of chips the bone. Where'd that go? There's what I want. The caltrip. Okay. So, there's a little bit of a chipping sound as the blade strikes the bone. The creature appears mostly unharmed.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually start the turn, so my apologies. We'll get that out of the way this time. Alright. Petrum, you are up. There are two skeletons to your left, there's one to your right.
Which one's close? Which one's closest?
You're kind of in the middle of the gallery, so it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but the ones there are two on the left, one on the right, and the ones on the left are probably slightly closer.
Which numbers are on the left?
Ones on the left would be your 5 and your 6 on the initiative order.
All right, I'll focus on the skeleton with the axe. I'll draw my mace and bring it down on its face.
Okay. You draw your mace and step forward valiantly. Go ahead and make that roll.
Ooh, that's not good. 9.
9. All right. A 9, unfortunately, does not hit.
Fair enough.
You do remember that you still have 2 inspiration.
You know what? I'm going to bust it out because I got to burn those. So I'll re-roll that.
Okay.
I'll use 1 and then re-roll it. I guess I could roll worse, but that one's better. 14.
All right. A 14 just hits.
Okay.
That was the one with the axe, correct?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Damage is... it's a 5.
5, okay. Alright, so as you bring your mace down towards its face, it brings the axe up to block, not quite getting there in time. The mace is deflected slightly enough to ping off and smash into the left shoulder. There's a spray of bone and dust, rather, really, as the skeleton is damaged. It roars in frustration at you, but without vocal cords, it's really more of a simple hiss. Bonus actions or any
Nope,
movement?
I'm good.
Any other movement?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. So the skeleton with the silver locket had been struck by Tenrili's dagger, and so it will charge forward, sword drawn, to strike at Tenrili. That is not going to hit her. She sees it coming and squeaks and flips up a kind of a partial cartwheel to get out of the thing's reach, hopping onto a nearby sarcophagus for balance and distance. Yulra is going to see her friend in danger. She's going to look warily at Layden, and she'll say that the creature is going to come out now, isn't he? And she'll draw her short sword and step towards the skeleton with the axe and try to bring down the evil creature, or the, as she sees it, evil creature.
It's just misunderstood, right?
Well, I don't know. Have you tried talking to it? No, because the bard's not here. See what I did?
They don't have tongues.
That's true. That's very true. Valid point. All right. That will hit. No. So
There's a lot of chatter for the bard to come back.
no, I was saying crap because I clicked the wrong button.
Okay.
His voice is dreamy. Okay.
That's why he's the bard. It's one of the requirements for being a bard.
She thrusts her short sword up into the rib cage, and several of the ribs splinter off, no longer held by the necrotic energy. They crumble and clatter to the ground. And it roars at her in another roar of just desperate, sort of primal frustration. Okay. The only skeleton on the right will step forward and decide that we'll start towards Petrum, deciding his back is exposed, and that's a good strike. But then see small little Layden with his big spear.
Oh.
And take a step in that direction, swing out at Layden.
Does he doesn't pass by me, does he?
No, and even if he did, he'd be behind you.
Okay.
So that'll be a, math is hard, 21. That beats your AC, I'm pretty sure. Yes. So we'll strike out with his burial sword for 6 damage.
Yikes.
Layden, as you turn to face your enemy, he thrusts out at you with the sword, and you go to bring your spear up, almost clumsily rather than with any skill, but manage to deflect the blade mostly away, so it just tears open part of the furs on your chest, leaving a little bit of a nick.
Not bad.
Right.
All right.
Got some character name puns out there.
The one with the axe will step forward. Not really sure whether to go for Yilra or the big green person. It doesn't really understand in front of it. But the big green person looks like a larger threat. So that is a 23. I'm pretty sure that beats your AC.
Yeah.
4 damage.
4 damage.
So as you go to block with your shield, you overextend just a little bit too far, and it's able to slip under your guard, striking the inside of your chainmail. It's not going to it didn't break through the chainmail yet, but it does leave a bit of a bruise. You can start to feel on your ribs.
Okay.
All right, Layden, it is finally your turn. You are at 60% of your health. What would you like to do?
Clayton is going to kind of fall on the ground.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, Malice Eye will arise.
Okay. So use your bonus action to rage, and then use your movement to get up. You still have some more movement, by the way. What would you like to do as your flesh begins to roil off and be surrounded by the storm of shadow and serpentine tentacles and figures within the darkness?
I am going to grab the bones with the fine cloak, and I'm going to grab it around the neck and just toss it.
All right. Throwing it at anything particular? Are you trying to hit a wall so that it breaks apart, or are you just trying to get it out of your way?
How I was planning on a wall.
Okay. So we're gonna call that a Tavern Brawl attack rather than a grapple because the intent is to do damage. So you reach out. Go ahead and make a attack roll. With your strength
Ooh, I rolled
modifier.
a 20.
Nice.
Nice. So that is a critical then. So that definitely hits. You roll the D4. I'm sorry, not D4. The D6 twice, and then add your strength modifier. Yes, your strength modifier after you have the total of the 2 dice. And then you're adding 4 instead of 2 for your strength mod because you're raging.
So I rolled a 6 in total on the die.
Okay.
And then you said add 4, so 10.
All right. That was to the one with the fine clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll 10. So you grab it and whip it back across. You don't throw it very far, hitting the sarcophagus beside you, actually with the limited space, but you shatter its bones against the sarcophagus. It doesn't rise again. Its head kind of rolls and falls down one of the ossuaries.
All right.
You are left with its fine grave clothes and silver locket in your tentacles.
Drop the clothes, the locket. He'll just hang on to. Or he'll throw it at Petrum, actually.
Okay. Wes, would you like to catch it as an object interaction for your turn?
Can I use my shield to kind of deflect it down
Yeah, that's
at
fine.
my feet?
Okay, so he drops the clothes and whips the locket at you, and you just kind of deflect it to the side at your feet. Not really prepared to be gathering up loot in the middle of battle.
Right.
Because that'd be silly. That'll be the end of your turn then, Layton, unless you want to move.
He'll just let out a growl and Yulera, whatever her damn name
Yilra.
is.
Monica.
He'll just be like, hello.
She looks back over her shoulder and moves a little bit closer to Petrum. Top of the initiative order would be Tenrily. Seeing that the skeleton with the grave clothes and silver locket is dead, she is going to focus on the one with the fine cloak that's near where she is standing. She's going to throw another dagger at it, not really wanting to get close. That's going to miss for once. She's got a pretty good bonus, so she rolled pretty low. Alright. Petrum, it is your turn.
I'm going to bring my mace down on the axe-wielding skeleton again.
Okay.
Bring it down. 10.
Roll that. Did you say 17? I'm sorry, I was talking over you.
I said 10.
Oh.
I'll take 17 though. If you're
if
dishing
you
it
rolled
out.
a 10, you rolled a 10. You still do have one more inspiration though.
No, I shouldn't burn them all on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I could actually need the second one later.
That's possibly true.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn? I know I just ended your turn, but you haven't yet.
Nope,
So.
I'm good. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of bonus actions right now. Options.
Well, not much for bonus actions at level 1, hey.
Yeah. I appreciate you asking though.
Well, I'd prefer to get in the habit so when we're higher level, I don't fuck someone over by moving things around. Alright, Gilra is going to look at the one with the axe. She's going to look at the one that's harassing her friend and decide that that's the bigger threat. She's going to risk not disengaging to kind of run towards her friend so that she is between Tenrily and Malasai, but still within range of the skeleton, and she's going to attempt to stab it. Which she successfully does for... Oh, nice. 8 damage.
Nice. Go team.
Well, I mean, you did pay top coin for these people, so they better be able to hit occasionally, I would think.
Total.
The skeleton roars in pain as she drives the short sword into its spine, which would be a killing blow for a living creature, not quite a killing blow for the undead servant that crackles within its cloak and tries to spin around, slashing more of the cloak as it turns. It's going to respond in kind to her, trying to stab her through the belly, which it might actually succeed at.
Yeah.
Now we get to find how willing the group is. Now we get to find out how willing the group is to waste healing on NPCs. Oh, that's only a 1. That's no fun. So 2 damage total.
Take it.
It tries to stab her through the belly, and she dodges to the side. It tears just part of her leather armor with or leather and chainmail armor rather with the blade. That's no fun. I was hoping for something more exciting, but sometimes the dice don't give you what you want. Alright. Skeleton with the axe is going to look at Petrum and decide that it's going to take a swing. Because the DM forgot to have it use its reaction to attack Gilra, but that's my own damn fault. So, ooh. Okay. Math. Does a 14 hit you?
No. Okay. I'm good.
So that'll be the end of its turn as it grabs the axe in both hands, roars, well, hisses, and swings at your head. What should be a killing blow is deflected by your shield and natural mobility. Though you can feel the supernatural strength of the skeleton behind the bones.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Now it is Malasai's turn again.
How far is he from either one of these right now?
He is 1 movement from you. Either direction. I mean, it's kind of a tightly spaced gallery. The only person you couldn't reach in 1 turn would be Tenrily, who is kind of up on top of a sarcophagus.
Can I grab either one with either hand? Like, just both of them?
I don't actually know. I think you might need the dual wielder feat. No, I mean, technically grapple is just having a free hand to do it. I'm gonna say yes. With your bonus action, you could grapple 2 people if they're both within arm's reach. Your arm's
Can I
reach
just
right
grab
now
them
is
and
10 feet.
smash them together?
I would say you could grab them on this turn and smash them together next turn.
And let's just go after the one in the fine cloak and just come up to it and basically just break it in half.
Okay. So we're gonna go up to it and grab it and try to rip it to pieces. So make a. While you're raging, do you get advantage on attack rolls or no?
No, that would be crazy.
That's second level.
Everybody be barbarians. Then.
Yeah, that's reckless.
Reckless attack.
Okay, so since the intent there is to do damage, we're gonna do Tavern Brawler. So you can move up to it and grab it, and and try to damage it. It's not technically grappled, but for purposes cinematics, your tentacles are wrapped around it, but it can still move freely. So go ahead and make your attack roll. Add 4. Yes, add 4.
I rolled another 20.
Nice. Another critical. So go ahead and roll your 2d6.
I rolled a
add
10.
4.
Okay, 14.
14. And this was the one in the fine cloak, correct?
Correct.
Right. All right. So you are able to start ripping the bones off. Your hand shoots out as a mass of tentacles, which begin to splinter off and just sort of toss the bones to the side until you're only holding the spine with no head, no ribs, or anything attached. What would you like to do at this point? You have a little bit of movement left, or you can end your turn.
End the turn.
Okay. Tenderly is going to draw one more of her daggers and fling it in the direction of the skeleton with the axe. And she misses again. Maybe she's not earning her pay, Petrum. Maybe she's not earning her pay.
That's right. I think I've already gotten at least 2 misses if you don't count the inspiration. So
that's true.
Can't say much. Okay, I will hit the skeleton with my mace. What does a 13? Does that hit?
13 just hits. Their AC has been 13.
5 damage.
5 damage. Alright. You bring your mace back and strike out. And as it strikes it in the head, you watch the skull burst open and the rest of the bones collapse. For a second, the adrenaline in your veins tells you to stand at ready in case it should rise again, but it stays down, and the room is silent.
Okay.
The battle has ended.
How's everyone looking?
Let's see. Let me clear the dead here. Gilra is looking a little banged up. You're looking, a little schmeh. You're not bleeding or anything, but you're feeling pretty tired and bruised.
Yeah.
Layden is, once his rage ends, will be feeling pretty tired and bruised.
Okay. I know you said we couldn't take any long rests in the crypt, but we can take a short rest, right?
That depends. I mean, theoretically, it's possible. How are you providing yourself with some security and shelter for the better part of an hour?
How are we?
Yep.
Um,
Someone
well,
keeping watch, or you?
yeah, we could have some people keep watch.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not like sleeping or anything, right? I mean,
No, but
we're just kind of taking a breather.
It is an hour of resting in more or less one spot.
Right.
So there may be, if there are other creatures active in the area, they may stumble upon you.
Yeah.
Then again, they may not.
Right.
It's a risk of resting in the dungeon.
Right. I don't want to. I'll burn all my healing spells in this go if I try to heal people.
Okay.
So.
So we're risking it then.
I'm. That would be my vote. What does everyone else think? What are our two NPCs and what does Layden think?
Layden could use a rest.
Henry says
Sometime.
that she's fine and she's willing to keep watch, especially on Layden. And Yilra says that she's had worse. Wars in the north are not simple affairs.
Okay.
This was just a warm up. So, but she's willing to keep watch if you need to rest.
Okay.
All right. So, when you short rest, you can roll one of your hit dice, which you all only have one right now. Miles, yours is a D12. And then you add your Constitution bonus to it.
So, okay.
I think your Constitution bonus is probably 3.
No, there's a D12. So I rolled a 7 on the die. So 3 is 10.
So you can recover 10 hit points.
Wait.
Nice. So, okay.
Which would bring you more or less to full. Yeah. You can't be over your maximum, so I'm just going to bring this back down to your maximum.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point you'll run into a gnome that makes a, I don't know, Crimson Tauros. Call it Energy Elixir that can allow you to or short rest past your maximum health.
All right.
Wes, did you burn a hit dice?
I did. I only healed 3.
3. And again, when you're using Turn Watcher, make sure to use this lovely add health, not add damage button. Really useful. Alright, so that should bring you up to 9 HP, just so that we're on the same page? Or did I math wrong?
Yep, you're good. Quick note, I have my Blessing of the Forge on my mace right now, so my AC is actually 18.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, my bad.
It's alright. The times that I got hit were kind of on the extremes, so nothing was really that close to the AC, so no effect. Just want to make sure the numbers look right.
So, for any of you that asked why I'm not having my players use a dice roller or displaying some sort of dice on the screen, it's because I can trust them and they remind me of shit like this. That I don't need to worry about their dice rolling, because I know they'll be honest. So,
honesty.
To answer that question, specifically, I think it was someone in the DMs of Forgotten Realms Facebook group asked me why I was not recording the rolls for Twitch, and the answer is because if one of your players is cheating at Dungeons and Dragons, they've got a bigger problem in their life, and you should probably address that as their friend rather than as their dungeon master. My players don't cheat. And I'm very fortunate that way. So there's my little PSA for today. Now, would you like to examine any of the bodies or anything during the long rest?
Yeah, if we could look through I'll take a look at the trinket. Anything on the skeletons that might kind of indicate who they are. I mean, I guess this is the family crypt, right? So they're all
Yes.
part of this family. Okay.
And the two that came out of the sarcophagi have they have murals above them that sort of describe who they are. The ones that came out of the ossuary, you get the sense they are older bones. They're bones that may have occupied sarcophagi at one point and needed to be moved in order to make room for, let's call it, newer residents of the crypt.
Okay.
So, damn it. Sorry about the muscle spasms, folk. It's cold and rainy here, and that is not always great for me, but we're gonna soldier through it.
You're all good.
If you do see me spasming on camera, I promise it's not crystal meth or anything. It's just CP. If I was on crystal meth, I'd be a much more animated dungeon master. All right, so everyone gets 6 XP for that, by the way. Just so that we're all on the same page, and I'm not screwing anyone over XP. They got 6 XP last game as well, for the last group of skeletons they fought. So if you're playing at home, they should have... Weston, how much XP do you have?
I have 38.
Okay. Sounds about right. So, as far as items of any sort of value, as you're looking through the stuff, it looks like most of this area has been ransacked. Although there is the fine cloak, the once fine cloak, with a silver clasp. Clasp itself is about average quality. But, I mean, even in its condition, the cloak and the clasp are worth something. The locket has the worn faces of 2 young children. The paint and stuff has sort of chipped away and become dry and old. It is made of a subpar silver alloy rather than full silver. And the axe, as you pick it up, make a intelligence and smithing tools roll.
Okay. Uh, 15.
All right. You pick it up and you look at it and you watch the what little light there is from... What is your light source again?
Light.
The light spell. Good. Did you cast out your mace, or is it on something else?
I cast it on my base.
Okay. So, the pure magical light kind of reflects weirdly off the axe in sort of a greenish, bluish hue, and you realize you're holding an axe where the bit and blade are made of adamantine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is a rare star metal, which is also found in some parts of the earth, for those of you that don't know. It is very, 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 very sharp and very, very, very hard. It's very useful for damaging property. It's also useful for damaging people, but specifically it automatically crits against objects, making it very useful for hacking down doors or what have you. Because you have uncovered a singular treasure that is greater than the amount at your XP tier, you gain 10 exploration point or XP points as well.
Wow.
That just goes to your normal XP. But the way 3-pillar XP works, you get XP for combat, you get XP for exploration, and you get XP for social stuff. And there is your XP for exploration.
So we're at 48. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is almost halfway to a level because, again, under 3-pillar, everyone levels at 100. All right.
I'm going to give in to my flaw on this one. I'm going to kind of look both ways and stick it in my backpack.
Nice. Very nice.
my flaw says that I do anything to get my hands on something rare or priceless, and adamantine seems like it fits the bill.
Yes, it does. Are you trying to hide it from Layton or just the NPCs?
Everybody.
Okay, then I will require a sleight of hand with dexterity, please.
I got nothing. I got none of that.
This will be fun.
Yeah, that's a 3.
All right.
I say, hey, look, there's another skeleton over there.
Okay. Thank you for role-playing your failure, by the way.
You're welcome.
So, Yulra and Tenderly both kind of look at you skeptically. Layden, you can also see Petrum, lamely point down one of the corridors and go, "Hey, look, a skeleton!" in a very unconvincing manner, and then put the large adamantite axe in his backpack.
It does kind of jam up a little bit in some of the other stuff that I've got in there, so it's not a clean, slip into the backpack. I got to kind of have to jam it and like jigger it a little bit.
Is part of it sticking out over out of the flap too?
Yeah, I kind of cover the flap and pat it down a little bit when I do that, and then I look up. Oh, the skeleton's dead. Sorry.
Layden?
Okay.
Yulra looks at you skeptically and says, "We didn't negotiate for treasure rights, so that's on us, but I would be a little bit more discreet in the future." Henry smiles at you and says, "I could show you how, but well, I'm not a thief, remember?" With a wink.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just look embarrassed. But then I'm ready to go.
Players and chat. Players and chat. There we go. Quick question for you. Would you prefer to see the player character's stats on the turn watcher? Because that's something we can do. We had talked about it last time, and I don't think we ended up putting up the poll. So if that's something you have a strong opinion about, or you as the players want to weigh in on, go ahead and let me know.
I don't think it would hurt. I think people could kind of get a better sense of who our characters are, the stats too.
Okay, so I'll do that in between sessions or on break if we end up coming back after break.
Risky says yes.
All right. In that case, no, I'll still do that at break. But thank you, Risky, for getting a vote. Again, because you're here, you get to be the great decider.
You have all the power.
But speaking of Risky, if you have if you want to join our Discord and you want to let one of our moderators know that you are Risky Wolf on Twitch, we will give you early bird status because we love having you in chat.
And talking to us.
Yes, we appreciate. We really do appreciate the engagement.
Yep.
It makes this more fun for all of us, I think. Well, for me anyway, and I'm the one that matters. I'm the dungeon master.
I'm good with it. I like it. Anyway,
Awesome.
Okay. So we finished our resting. We did our kind of searching. Layden, did you want to do any kind of snooping? I kind of monopolized that time.
Dig through any of the sarcophagi, or
Layden's just gonna polish his spear in a non-sexual way.
Rub it a little bit and then look both ways and just kind of polish it. I like it.
Right.
So we have the passageway from there we came from, right?
Yes,
kind of the
and
entrance.
then there are a number of separated galleries that are separated by columns, right?
So is the room that we're in, is that kind of like a dead end, and then we have to go back into the hallway for the other galleries?
No, so actually all the galleries seem to converge on a single door. In the distance.
Okay.
It seemed like this isn't so much a catacombs where there's many different rooms and tunnels and things. This is a pretty straightforward mausoleum built into the side of a hill.
Okay.
So it's cramped and it's narrow and it definitely smells like rotting dead bodies, but there's not too many places for which to go.
I'm gonna if I can kind of use 10 minutes more of our time, I would like to cast detect magic as a ritual. Get that magic radar on.
Okay. So you concentrate on the spell and cast detect magic. The world begins to develop a purple tinge for a second, and then things appear normal for the moment. Radius on that is 30 feet, 60 feet?
30, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, 30.
Alright. So, the gallery seems to converge, yes, consurge, that's totally a word, on a single large door. Above the door, written in Old Common, it says, well, does anyone read Old Common?
I didn't think it was an option.
That's true. I mean, it would be the same alphabet. So why doesn't everyone go ahead and give me an intelligence check? Which would just be a D20. What?
What check?
Intelligence.
Okay. Nope. I got a 5.
I rolled a 10 on the die.
Okay, so Layden, you can actually read it.
Nice.
It says, "Be cursed you who travel beyond this point. Beyond this door is the door of the dead, the remembrance of things once hoped for, and the accumulation of successes and failure, to which the dead may still feel claim. Mercril, Lord of Bones, tolerates not the trespass against the dead. Heed not the whispers of the Lord of Shadows, that wealth rightfully belongs to those who can acquire it. Remember instead, the dead can always find you."
Remember instead, the dead can always find you.
He says ending whatever Kale just said.
Okay, so you repeat that out loud?
Yes, he reads it out loud.
Wes, as a cleric, can I have a religion check, please?
Well, 10.
Alright, that's good enough. Mercril, Lord of Bones, is the currently dead Lord of Death. And
Fitting.
that also connects with the piece of riddle, or not riddle, but engraving. It's not a riddle. That the dead can always find you. That's part of his dogma, right? And the Lord of Shadows, the Whispers of the Lord of Shadows, is the doctrine of Mask, God of Thieves. And that's where they get the part, wealth rightfully belongs to those who can acquire it. It's part of his dogma. It's part of his core belief. So this is basically a warning against thieves, right? Saying if you walk through this door, know that the dead may still feel claim to what is here, and that the god of death, the Lord of Bones, is watching. So don't let the god of thieves convince you that you should go steal this.
It's a good thing I did my pilfering outside of this room.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
I think it, though.
It's a good thing I did my pilfering outside this room. That is going to be part of next week's highlights. Alright, so there's this heavy stone door in front of you with this very grandiose engraving, threatening people against thieves. You get this, as you look at it, you can see it's got a heavy sort of lock on it. But you do see that above the engraving, there's like a 2.5, 3 foot hole, in the ceiling, right below, like where the ceiling and the door meet. There's this hole.
Maybe a trap.
It could be a trap. It looks sort of like the part of the part of the wall above the door has been chiseled in.
Okay.
Like someone already broke into it, huh?
Oh.
To create this gap.
Okay. Yeah.
It would be like a DC 15 acrobatics check to slip through.
Oh.
Unless you wanted to open the door.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'll look to Tenderly and say, would you like to use your non-thieving skills or expertise to take a look at the door? At that lock?
I can.
Great.
I mean, I suppose that's what you're paying me for.
Yes.
Yulra says I could look too, but why don't we let her go?
Agreed.
Alright, she walks up and pulls small tools out of pockets you didn't know she had. Walking up to the door, she begins to tinker with it. Let's see here. Your bonus would... She tinkers with it for a little bit, holds up a small wooden block, jamming one of the tools in the lock quickly. You hear a sharp click, and a dart comes out and thwacks into the block of wood in her hand. She passes that back to whoever might be nearby, whether that's Petrum or Yelra, I'm not really sure. And then she says, well, I think the trap's disarmed, but do you want me to open the lock too?
Yes, please.
She continues to tinker a little bit. You hear a click, and you see the lock rotate, but as she reaches up to kind of push the door, it moves maybe like a micro amount, and then stops hard.
Oh.
And she kind of leans in and shoves it a little bit harder, and it doesn't budge. And she backs up and says, well, is it Yilra's turn, or one of you gentlemen want to move this? It seems like there's something on the other side.
I'll look to Yilra. You're up.
I'm not the one made of stone, she grumbles, but walks up and she'll try to force the door open. She slams her shoulder against it hard, and as she shoves on it, it does move a little bit, and you can hear all sorts of metal objects clattering down the other side. It sounds like they're clattering across stone. You can hear stone shifting, but she's maybe only got it about a foot open.
I'll push on it, and maybe I can have her help me.
Okay. Roll a strength check with advantage. Or, I'm sorry, athletics check with advantage.
Athletics, okay.
Yes, strength-based athletics.
That is a 21.
Alright, you manage to push the door, partially open enough for you to slip through. You can see that there is, rubble pushed up against the door, which you've now scattered some of. There are silver plates and cups that appear to be stacked on top of the rubble that you've dislodged and sent tumbling, making quite a racket.
Sorry, we've already done that.
As you push your way inside, there are the bronze hands of Torm holding the common lanterns like in the other room, right? But
Okay.
to the left side of the door, there is a silver hand of Torm also holding not a clay lamp this time, but a pewter lamp. Let's see what else. Okay. Let's see. I need to take a look at your passive perceptions. My apologies. Okay.
Did you
so,
get them last time?
Yes, I got them last time. Yours
Oh,
is
sweet.
a 13, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Then yes, I have them. So both of you would notice that there is, the room is tiled, and some of the tiles have a silver crosswork over the stones. Wes, you didn't break your concentration. Your detect magic is still up.
Yep.
So you see this reddish pulsing energy of evocation pulse off the silver crosswork.
Okay.
Let's see. There is a mahogany balance beam that runs along about starting from about 10 feet in the door to and it runs for about 45 feet to the other edge of the room. You can only really make out the beam, and because of the dark wood, it looks like it's meant to absorb some of the light from the lanterns, but only because the lanterns are lit can you see all the way to the other side of the room, which is about 55 feet away.
Okay.
And again, there's this silver lattice over the stones of the room, which are also dark and meant to absorb light. And they seem to be, to your
Pulsating.
eyes, only Weston. They seem to be pulsing with this evocation, this red, angry evocation magic.
I'll pass along to the group that they should watch out. Be careful not to step on the silver latticed tiles. They're magically charged.
The only way you seem to have to avoid them is perhaps crossing on the beam, unless you can think of another strategy.
Crossing on the beam. Okay.
I mean, it looks like you could maybe,
There's no like footing along the walls? We can go around the room. I mean, I guess that's deck space stuff anyway. Either way.
Okay, so that's for crossing the beam. Give me one. You may be able to avoid it, but it would still be a deck space check. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Huh. What about these pans and like, are they tripping anything? Like all the loose debris, is it tripping anything?
It doesn't seem to have tripped anything. I mean, they're
It's
you
probably
do-
pressure plated, right?
you do get the sense that it's somewhat weight related. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So a careful person, like not every tile is silver, is covered with this silver metal. An investigation check may reveal if there is a path.
Okay. I'll take a crack at that.
Are you still using the light on your mace?
Light spell?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's not concentration.
Okay.
16 for my investigation.
There is a path. It would be very narrow and difficult to follow, but you could follow it.
It'd probably be safer, at least for me, than the beam. How high, or where's the beam again?
Starts about 10 feet in and goes 45 feet across the room, stopping 10 feet from the far door. It is only about 3 or 4 feet off the ground, like a gymnastics balance beam.
Oh, that's not bad. But still.
It's just a
More
polished dark wood beam.
How does everyone else feel about this?
I think Layden's going to give it a crack at the beam.
The beam. Okay.
I don't know about the other two.
Generally would follow you on the beam if you want to go first. And Yilra would follow Petrum along the floor.
Okay. I'm going to break my concentration on my detect magic. I'm going to try to commit the path to memory. Break my concentration on the magic, detect magic, and beseech Moradin to give me guidance along this path.
Okay.
By guessing guidance.
Okay.
Am I rolling a d20 to see if I can get across this beam?
Well, first, we're rolling initiative.
Oh, shit.
This is a complex trap that requires initiative.
So, also, why does Tenderly want me to go first?
She's going to push it off. That too.
Wait, what would Kale say?
Because you're the player. No, I mean, she has an in-game reason, and that's because she's not really sure about the balance beam, and she wants to see what happens. I mean, if you ask her, she says the balance beam seems a little too obvious. It could be a trap, but I don't see anything.
All right, well, I guess initiative, right?
Yep.
All right. Oh my god, Layden rolls a 4.
I got a 4 too.
Good going,
fuck! One right after the other.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do as we start the initiative is Tenderly is going to delay her turn to after Layden. So I do that here. Play. Nope, that's not what I want. I want. Oh, I don't have that option. Oh, move down. There we go. That's what I want to do. So the hotkey for that is and then Yilra is going to move herself down in the initiative order. Yilra is going to no, that's not how we do it. Is going to move after Petrum. And cool. So Layden, it is you're jumping it. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. It doesn't like me. So we're just going to follow the initiative order, and it doesn't represent what's on. So that means Layden is up first, despite rolling lowest in initiative, or second tied for lowest in the initiative.
So this beam is basically just kind of like how big?
Polished
what
wood about 1.5 feet across, like 1.5 feet wide, 45 feet long, ish.
He's gonna kind of like slowly like walk across it. He will have his spear out, kind of using it to like help balance. He will be kind of ready though, as he's walking, kind of like almost preparing for an attack.
Okay, go ahead and make a acrobatics check with your dexterity score. I don't think you're proficient in acrobatics, so it'll probably just be +2.
Okay.
But you'd find it under acrobatics on your character sheet.
I rolled a 21 then.
Okay.
Nice.
You have no problem balancing yourself with the spear out in front of you. That'll be the first turn of movement across the room. Tenrily will hop up, and she will easily follow you, about 10 feet behind. Petrum, you are trying to memorize the path and using guidance, trying to make your way. Go ahead and make a acrobatics check, without advantage or disadvantage. Because you still have light on your mace, correct?
Yeah, I still have light. Yeah.
Okay.
If not, how long does it last? It lasts for an hour. So I probably recasted it on myself on my mace.
Okay.
Does guidance apply to acrobatics checks?
I would have to go read the wording. Go ahead and tell me the wording of the spell.
Well, the spell says I can add a D4 or the number rolled for one ability check if it's of my choice.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
And if not, people can fight me about it on Discord. Or rather, fight Andrew. 11?
No, I said because I need to roll my D4.
Okay.
I might be using that other inspiration sooner than I would have hoped. What's a 10?
A 10. All right.
Can I use my inspiration, or is that too late?
You can use your inspiration, but you have to do it before I tell you what happens.
I have to what?
You have to use it before I tell you what happens. So you're gonna use it or no?
Yeah, I'm going to use it.
Okay, roll again then.
That's better. 11. Not much better.
Okay. You take 3 points of lightning damage as you step across the path. Your foot nicks one of those silver grates. Lightning shoots up your foot through your leg, and your muscles begin to spasm in pain as the lightning chars your boot and pants.
Okay.
Sorry. The DM will not start beatboxing. Alright. So, that'll bring us to the top of the initiative order. We get to initiative 10 because they're all delayed and you guys are on 4. The room begins to fill with a purplish green vapor. Everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw right now.
Oh my god, he farted.
It's gross. So gross. So gross.
Ooh, 11 on the die.
Keep in mind you get a +3, and I don't know if you are proficient in that saving throw as a barbarian. You'd have to check. Do you have a check under saving throws under Constitution?
Let me check. It's the Constitution?
Yes.
Yeah, I do have a check.
Okay. So then you're adding 5 total to that. So 16. That is a success.
Woohoo!
Wes, what did you...
I got an 18.
Okay, that is also a success for you. Let me roll for NPCs. Yes, and... yes. Okay. Okay, also on Initiative 10, darts begin flying out of the walls across the path of the balance beam. So they will make 1 attack on Miles and 1 attack on Tenrily.
There's traps everywhere.
13. Does that hit your AC, Miles? I'm not... no, that misses. You are able to dodge the darts as they fly by you, nearly hitting you in the nose and the hip and the thigh and the bicep, but you're able to kind of like dodge back and forth and use the spear as balance.
Clayton will yell out, "Look out!"
Tinrily is also unharmed, as she kind of cartwheels through them, almost catching up to you. Yulra will curse and say, "Of course there's a trap."
Well, you don't have to be a dick about it.
I could have seen that going a lot of different ways.
Alright. I need to bring in our new friend.
New friend.
There's
Is it
a
a
new
dog?
friend. It is not.
Cat dog?
It's not a cat dog.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Sounds
our new
terrifying.
friend named Starfresh Hands. And this is actually my chance to fix the initiative. So you guys rolled 4s.
Starfish hands?
Starfish hands.
It is actually something else, but it is Starfish Hands is sort of the clue to the audience.
What is this? The shit from fucking Stranger Things?
Yes, it is definitely the thing from Stranger Things.
You're gonna kill us with a Demogorgon?
You should be
Yeah,
worried.
there you go.
You should be very worried.
Well, it was fun
All right.
streaming while we could.
This thing should be fucking worried. That's all. I'll say it in game 2. This thing should be fucking worried.
Well, you don't see anything right now.
Oh.
I'm so damn proud of you.
Damn proud of you.
I'm so desperate.
Alright. Alright. So, Clayton, are you going to continue across on the balance beam, or now that it's being struck with darts, are you going to
Just man up and
man up and run along the ground and get electrocuted?
I mean, my options are either get electrocuted or get dart shot at me.
Yep.
yeah, pretty shitty choices.
And there's this poison cloud descending from the roof.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep heading towards the fucking exit.
You gonna try to move any quicker, or you gonna stay at a balanced pace so you don't fall?
Stay at a balanced pace.
Okay. So moving another 15 feet, make an acrobatics check. Which is, I think, just your dex, so +2.
Oh! Another 20.
Me a
Nice.
20.
This day is crazy, man.
You begin moving your way across the balance beam. You are 2/3 of the way across.
Hell yeah.
Tinrily will
Third
follow you, keeping
Actually,
her eye out
like,
for darts.
A 20, like, on the critical.
You cannot critical succeed at skill checks.
Ah, yeah.
It's attack rolls.
That's all good. I don't give a shit.
All right. So, then it would be Petrum's turn. I'm sorry. Yeah, it would be Petrum's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself again and continue on. Keep asking
Okay.
Morgan to watch over me.
Ask Morton to watch over you and keep going on. Okay, make a
Stop it from
There is a
stop me
little
from getting
note here.
electrocuted.
So, yeah, I need another acrobatics check from you then.
Acrobatics.
Yep.
3, 18.
Okay. You succeed at not getting zapped.
Yeah.
Yulra will groan. She does not like this fancy footwork shit, but she will keep on your path, only a few steps behind you. You are now 2/3 of the way through the room.
Yay.
So then we would go to the next round here. The top of the initiative. Who's on the balance beam? Layden?
Yes, sir.
Let me. Stat block here. Where is. Stat blocks. Not where they. Oh, there it is. I'm just being silly. Okay. Let's see. Why didn't I put them here? Thought I was a little bit more organized. My apologies. We'll see if we kill Layden in a second. All right.
Whoa.
So, Layden, your passive perception is 13 to use its first tentacle attack against you. That'll miss, so it'll use the second part of its multi-attack against you. That is a 16, so that beats your AC. A tentacle shoots from the ceiling, whipping at your face and missing. The second tentacle whips out and attempts to grab you. Let's see, it does 1, 3 is 4, 6. That plus our 4 damage. 8. And if the target is large or smaller, creature is grappled. So you are grappled, which means you cannot move as this starfish-like hand full of almost like teeth wrap around your throat. This creepy sort of 5-fingered starfish hand with these spines tears into your throat, coming from a hole in the ceiling. And you can smell the flesh of the creature, and it smells rotting and undead like a corpse.
Yeah.
So,
All right, then.
let me damage you for the 8. There we go. Now, Layden, it is actually your turn, though. So the first thing I need you to do is roll an athletics check to see if you can break the grapple. That would be... Although you could use your bonus action to rage first if you liked.
I mean, I'll rage, yeah.
Okay. So, feeling your windpipe begin to close as this creature crushes your throat, you let out this roar of frustration, and with a burst of shadowy energy, tentacles begin to form, and you are transformed into Malasai.
Mistake.
You have tentacles too. Now you get to roll your grapple with advantage because you're raging.
So I rolled a 10 the first time.
Okay.
I think it's a roll
So
10.
roll the dice a second time and take the higher number.
Well, I rolled an 11.
Hooah.
Is that with modifiers? Your modifiers should be +4.
Then 15.
Okay, that is just enough to break free of the tentacles. You manage to pull your throat back and whip your arm tentacles up and knock the hand to the side. I'll be right back. I need to let Amanda in, but then we'll finish this probably round, and then I'll have to take a break.
Okay.
Wish the stupid remote would just. So, you managed to break free from the grapple. You still have your action and your and movement if you want it, but your movement is halved while you're on the balance beam.
What can I really see? Just this arm coming out of a hole?
Mm-hmm.
Can I fucking drag it down?
The arm is about 10 feet above you. So the balance beam lifts you up just enough so that it's 10 feet from the ceiling. The room is maybe 13 feet tall in total.
Can I throw this motherfucking thing out of the hole onto the floor?
Okay, so you want to grapple it and try to pull it down.
Voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna grapple that fucking hand and break the goddamn thing.
You have advantage on that, because you're raging. So go ahead and roll the d20 twice, take the higher number, and add 4.
Oh, critical motherfucker. I do not get it. I've rolled 4 20s today. This is insane.
It's because you rolled that one in the beginning.
Yes.
Getting that cosmic payback.
So I rolled a 20 on the die.
So when you grapple something, you can move it part of your movement. I will say that is equivalent to tugging it. You just want to move 5 feet out of the hole. It kind of, remember that, like, gack stuff when we were kids? How you could, like, you could squeeze it out of part of the container? That's basically what you're doing. You're slowly pulling this rubbery humanoid shape from the ceiling, and you can see it. It has these 4 limbs that end in starfish-like abilities, and this lamprey-like mouth, and in this weird, almost like a misshapen potato head, and an over round belly. You drag this halfling-sized creature with 10-foot long limbs from the ceiling. It is going to fall onto the balance beam. I'm going to give it an acrobatics check to see if it takes damage from the fall by moving it 5 feet out the hole. And as it comes out of the hole, it kind of pops open like it's been under pressure. So it reinflates almost as it pops out. Where's my d20? There's my d20. It will take the 10 feet fall damage. So it takes 4 damage as you drag it down.
So I wasn't able to drag it onto the, like, electrical thing.
No, it landed on the balance beam. It just kind of landed on its back.
It's on its back.
Next turn, you can throw it onto the electrical grid if you want to.
All right.
So,
sounds good.
4 bludgeoning. You're raging right now, so you take half damage, as long as it's not from slashing, piercing, and blood. Petrum, it is your turn.
I'm gonna call down the fires of Moradin onto that creepy looking thing. Sacred Flame.
You cast Sacred. Go ahead. Save is what?
DC 13. Dex.
Well, it would be at disadvantage because it's prone. Make sure I do this right, or Andrew will yell at me. Okay. It just failed with the disadvantage. So, go ahead and roll your damage on it.
4 damage.
4 damage. Make sure I'm damaging the choker and not the Petrum.
Oh, I stowed my mace, by the way, to free up a hand.
So you've got the glowing thing sort of at the side of your belt.
Yep.
It roars in pain, and some of the undead flesh burns off it as a sacred flame shoots from the ceiling, striking it. And you can briefly hear the ring of Morden's hammer striking the anvil as the flame strikes. Any movement? Are you going to continue to move through the room? There is still a poison gas.
Yeah, I'll try to move.
Okay. So I need the acrobatics check then, please.
No guidance this time. But I take damage. I rolled a 10.
All right. The poison has not struck the coils yet, so it's just the D4 plus 1. That is 5 electrical damage.
Okay.
And I need to take my break now. So do we want to stop here, or do you guys have the energy to keep going when I get back?
How long is it going to be?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, we should try to finish this up.
Okay. So everyone stay tuned with us, please. We will, I'll put on some lovely Sirenscape for you, and I will mute my mic, and we'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. Try to make it fast, and then we will finish this room/encounter. And we are back. Well, I am back. Hold on. There we go. Now we're back. Hat. Blinding everyone with my baldness. Alright. We are back. I don't know if anyone is still watching, but about as close to 10 minutes as I could get. I think I was like 45 seconds or something late, but oh well.
It's all good.
So, we were doing Petram's turn. You had casted Sacred Flame. You tried to move across the floor. You are.
You gotta damage me still.
I have to damage you still?
Yeah. I took 3 damage, so I should be at 10%.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being honest. Be a point of inspiration for that, because it's pretty close to death.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's a thing that happens.
I still have 2 spells, so I can heal myself, but
Gonna say, adventuring is a pretty dangerous career.
yep.
All right. Let's see. So you should be pretty close to the door by now. I think you're half a move from the door.
Okay.
Kinrally cannot advance past where Malasai is on the balance beam. Let me make a roll for her to see if she decides to jump off, or she's going to stay behind Malasai and she can't hit the creature. Malasai's in the way. I mean, she could try to hit the creature. Creature has cover. She'll give it a shot. Ooh, that's not good. There's no specific rules about if you miss someone that's covered by your friend, if you accidentally hit the friend, so I'm going to say she just misses altogether. And if I'm wrong, again, we have a Discord for that. She will pull one of her knives and chuck it kind of over Malasai's shoulder, but completely miss what she's aiming for. And she'll curse and not be able to go any more forward, and so she's going to have to make another save against the poison. Which I forgot to have you guys do on your turn, so you get off scot-free. But she succeeds at her save, and that'll be the end of her turn. Alright. Ilra. Will continue trying to move across the path. Because the bars are so charged with arcane energy at this point, even without your light, there is no disadvantage. She will take... Ooh, that's not good. She will take some damage. As the lightning strikes her, her foot drags across too close to one of the silver grates, and you can smell burning leather and metal and skin as the lightning charges up her leg.
Okay.
She curses in pain and says, "Move it, big guy, we're sitting ducks here." On initiative 10, it will be the room's turn. So I know it says starfish hands, but the room actually goes before them. I just didn't put the room in the initiative counter because that would be hard to do. Vapors get all the way from the ceiling. So now everyone needs to make a save. Constitution saving throw again.
Okay.
I rolled a 12 on the die.
Okay. Miles, you're fine. You would have a plus 5 to that, so. What'd you
I
get?
got a 14. 14.
Okay, you're fine. Tenrally is not fine. She is poisoned. And Yilra is fine. So Tenrally is poisoned. which we do in Turn Watcher by clicking. Let's bring that up a little bit. Effect. Bless you.
Yeah, it's just a cough.
Okay. So, on the creature's turn, it is going to wrap its legs around the beam and stand itself up. Although it is still grappled, so I don't actually know that it can do that. It's going to have to try to roll against Miles to break the grapple. Alright, so Miles, go ahead and roll an athletics check. You're still raging, so you get advantage. Rolling 2d20 and taking the higher number. And I believe you're adding, 4.
19 then.
Okay, it is unable to break from your tentacles. It will do nothing else on the... Well, hold on. Yeah, no, I'm going to activate its special ability here. It's going to use its aberrant quickness to give itself an extra action on this turn. It may not be able to move, but it is still going to attempt to strangle you with its tentacles.
It's going to grapple the grappler.
Yes. So, it's going to whip its arm up at you. Unfortunately, it rolled poorly. It's grabbing at your throat, but all it's grabbing is individual tentacles of shadow and flesh. It can't get at your windpipe as Beliside just sort of shifts around its hand. Anything useful. And with its other attack, again, it's not getting anything useful as it brings up its other arm to try to catch this smoky, shadowy form that it's finding itself strangled by, or rather grappled by. Okay.
Right, then. I'm gonna chuck this thing into the fucking electricity.
Which is the other thing to note is that the electric grid is now flaring, and you can see little bits of small flames appear around the edges of the bars.
Good.
All right.
Wes, you've been in mines and stuff before, right? As part of your background.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check with advantage for me, please.
$16.
If this gas stays in contact with the electricity and flame much longer, it's going to explode.
Okay. We gotta move, people. I'll probably try to say that in a slurred and slow and kind of loose speech because I'm almost the end.
This is where I would ask you on your turn: are you going to try to book it and take disadvantage on the roll? But that would be a really bad strategy for you.
Yeah, if I wanted to recreate characters, sure.
Oh, but it's such brilliant artwork.
Well, I'm trying my best.
All right. So Layden, it is now your turn. Layden, you there? Oh no, Miles.
So you were a second ago. Well, he muted himself.
Hey. All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I am going to chuck this thing into the.
Okay. In lieu of an attack roll, make an athletics check for me, please. With advantage, you're raging.
It's 19 on the die.
All right. Plus the 4 would put at 23. That should be no problem to hurl onto the floor 5 feet away. It will roll 1d8 for me, please. And then 1d8 for me, please, and then 1d6 for your Tavern Brawler damage.
1d8. 1d6. Well, that's a 5.
All right, total?
Yeah.
So it takes 5 in combination of lightning and oh shit, I damaged you. My bad. Roll C. Yes, it works. All right, I feel better. That was scary. The creature roars in pain. It's charred and shocked with the lightning going through it, and the force of being slammed onto the ground by the angry shadow creature, but it still manages to hold on to its unlife, resisting the urge to lay down and finally die completely. I'm sorry, Layden, are you going to move at all?
Yes, I'll move towards the door or exit.
You're still moving across the balance beam?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I need a acrobatics check then from you, please.
18 on the die.
Nice. With the +2, that brings it to 20. You have no problem moving across the beam. You are now 10 feet from the door. But that is the end of your movement this turn.
All right.
Petrum, you are 15 feet... I'm sorry. Yeah, you are 15 feet from the door. But is there anything you'd like to do before you move?
Yeah, I gotta heal.
Okay. So you are casting Cure on yourself? Or Healing Word? Or...
Cure wounds, yep.
Okay. Sound effects aren't working for me today. I'll fix that in between sessions. So go ahead and heal yourself. Go ahead and roll your healing.
That's good. It's 10 hit points.
Nice.
Good.
Since you cannot go above your maximum, that just brings you to full. You feel, you feel just like he had forged the original bodies of the dwarves. You feel the energy of Morden's creative process begin to heal your wounds and refill your spirit. You are renewed.
All right.
Would you like to remove that? Would you like to move that remaining 15 feet out the door?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
So, because this starfish hand is just laying on the electricity, is it going to get shocked every turn?
Yes.
So, whether or not someone attacks it, it's still going to get damaged.
On its turn, yes.
Alright.
I'm probably gonna get damaged again.
No, there's actually no more grid for you to cross.
Oh, really? Oh,
The
okay.
15 feet is just out the door. The remaining 10 feet of this room, and then the next 5 feet of the door. Although the door is, hold on, I think the door is closed. Let me check. Which you still have an object interaction, but let me check how I set this trap up here. All right. So got to mention a key element. So, the door is about 15 feet ahead of you in the corner of the room, like the corner of the wall with the door, and the wall closest to the balance beam. There is a slumped figure, in a robe, with a hood. I forgot to mention that earlier. My bad. He looks like he's been hit with a couple darts. You can see darts in his clothing. See, there is a heavy wooden door in front of you, Wes.
Can I grab the dude and drag him to the door?
Yes, you could. You can grab the dude and drag him to the door.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the door appears to be locked as you shove on it.
Okay.
And you hear rattling on the other side, similar debris and things. There is a small hole above the door as well, about the same size as the other one. So that'll be your movement and object interaction,
Yep.
is going and grabbing the guy and pulling him. So you are able to pull him along the wall a little bit. I'm gonna say it takes you probably 10 feet to get to him. Yeah, you'd have enough movement, just barely, to get to the door and shove on it. This one looks like it'll be easier to push through than, say, the stone door. The stone door was obviously heavier.
Right.
So, now we go to the, Tenrily, who is going to, I need to be on the initiative tracker for the buttons to work. And weird. Alright,
Shouldn't the starfish thing take damage?
no, it's still in the same initiative round that you threw him.
Oh. I see.
We're on initiative 3 right now. You guys were initiative 4. She is going to attempt to move as quickly as she can across the balance beam, willing to take disadvantage to do so. This could either really hurt or this could work. Well, she lost on a natural 20 because of the disadvantage. So, looks just 7. She will fall off the balance beam as she runs across it, seeing the flames on the grid. She goes, "He's right, we need to move," and starts running along the beam. She falls to the side. That's sad. Taking lightning damage as her entire body strikes the metal. So that's gonna suck.
She did.
She is not dead, but she's not in great shape.
She probably will be.
Yulra will look and see her friend, and I'm gonna have a morale save for her. Nope, she's gonna take the coward's path. She is just going to run to the door and slam into it and try to knock it open. And she slams as hard as she can against the door, but the door doesn't budge, and she begins screaming and saying, "Let me out of here!" Quite loudly.
Everyone's freaking out.
So the room does not go on initiative 10, because this round it goes on initiative 0, which gives everyone one more turn to do stuff. Alright. Zombie Choker. First thing that happens to this beastie is he takes some lightning damage.
Hopefully that offs him.
It offs him, yes, but he is a zombie, so he makes a Fortitude save to go back to 1 HP, which he succeeds at. He's at 1 HP. So he gets fried on the grid, and he stops moving for a second, and the gem in his forehead crackles for a second. And his eyes snap back open, and he begins to try to right himself. He will use his action to stand up, and then he will try to climb up the wall, which he succeeds at. So he grabs onto the wall and hoists himself up. But he does not have an action to attack right now, so he's going to stay where he's at. Layden, your turn. The fires along the silver grids on the floor are flaring up even higher. And Petra, remember, told you need to get out of the room, so what would you like to do? Tenrily is on the ground. She's being zapped right now. You're closest to her, but you're only 20 feet or so from the door once you get off the balance beam.
Malasai will he will see that the creature's not dead, and he will jump on the back of the creature, flipping it towards the ground.
Okay. We are going to call that a Tavern Brawler attack. Go ahead and make your D20 roll. plus 4.
21.
Okay, that hits. 1d6 plus 4.
7.
It needs to make a fortitude save to go back to 0 HP. It fails. You grab it and slam it into the ground until its head bursts open like a ripe melon, scattering the green stone across the silver grate. And it kind of sparks as it goes. But the creature is not getting hurt. We're going to end this for the moment. Alright. Any movement you would like to make as you are now on the grate? I'm going to say you probably did not get zapped as you bring the creature to the ground, but any movement from here on out is going to require a roll. Because you're standing on the grate. Or on the tiles, rather. You want to try to book it to the door?
Can I reach for Tenderly if she's close to me?
Yeah, I'd call it an object interaction. She's within 10 feet. And you have
So
tentacles.
I'll just tentacle her and jump with her with me towards a door.
I need an athletics check.
Okay.
Wait, before you roll, I didn't hear your number, so it's fine. Are you trying to jump through the hole above the door, or are you trying to jump to the door where Petrum is? Because you could theoretically try to jump through the hole in the door.
Where Petrum is.
Okay. And so, what'd you roll?
I didn't roll yet. I rolled a 16 though.
Okay. Is that with the +4 for your ability?
No. So 20 then.
Okay. You are able to leap across the room over the last few feet of silver grating, landing next to Petrum with Tenderly in your arms. She looks at you with this mixture of horror and gratitude is the word I'm looking for. I don't know why that was so hard. And she'll like bury her face in the shadowy tentacles. Petrum, what are you doing? Thinking quickly.
Trying to, if I can get Yoder's help to break the door or bust through the door, I would like to do that.
So you'd like to wait to initiative 3 and try to make an athletics check to bust open the door. I mean, you're initiative 4, so you're only waiting one initiative now.
Yeah, but then I couldn't move, so I'll be caught in the blast. I'm gonna try to push it.
Okay.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Because that was a 1.
Fair enough.
That's not much better. Fuck. I don't do it.
What'd you roll?
5.
Total? Yeah, the door doesn't budge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yulbril will give it a shot. See what you can do.
Fuck.
She shoves on the door.
Why not Tenderly?
She's currently in your arms. If you want to let her go, she can give it one shot to see if she can pick the lock.
I'll let her go. So it's another chance.
Okay. Yulra shoves, but she can't get the door open. Tenderly will hastily pick the door and shove it as much as she can. But there's something in her way, and I need everyone to roll dexterity saving throws.
11 on the die. So 16.
12.
The NPCs. All right. The room is consumed with a billowing fire. Everyone takes. Math is hard. Everyone takes 12 damage, but because you succeeded at your saving throws, you only take 6.
6 damage.
As flames consume the room, blasting you through the door, knocking the rubble in the door side.
Well,
And
through.
that will put Henry at 0. Layden, you are at 1. Because I don't believe your Barbarian Rage gives you resistance to fire. Petrum, you are at 4. She is at 0. Yilra is at... No, actually she would be at disadvantage. Because she's poisoned. If I'm being fair. Okay. So
She's already at 0.
Yeah, it doesn't really have much of an effect.
Did she get a saving throw? She
Yeah,
did.
It was a. I mean, she has death saving throws she has to deal with. And she takes 6. So she's still pretty okay. Gilra's a pretty tough character. But things are not looking too good for our heroes as the fire clears. And you are in the next room of the dungeon feeling pretty beat up. Question is, do we want to continue, or is this a good place to stop?
Very good place to stop.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching. We here at Terrible Taras Tales appreciate it. We are starting to get into the meat of things. And there is definitely some high stakes adventuring going on here in the Huabeck Crypt. We will see you all next week at 8 p.m. Central Time on the True Knowing Gnome Twitch channel. Until then, Call to Adventure will go out, and we at Terrible Taras Tales, we will answer. Have a good night, everyone. Long